parts together, no? So you can say, for example, my house was built, I don't know, and you mentioned that the topic. Okay, so now pay attention. Here, bill, who, get paid, logo, okay, you will listen. And also the meaning of crowdsourcing, you will listen here in the audio. Okay, so here, pay attention. You have listened to the conversation about how crowdsourcing is used to write the story. Crowdsourcing is used to write the story, and then circle the correct answer to complete each sentence. We have 7 sentences with 3 alternatives, okay, and you will circle the correct one. Yeah, but and also we will discover, no, what is crowdsourcing. Yeah, so let's read 1 minute, 1 minute to read, please, to read the sentences. Okay, listen and circle the correct answer.
Hi, Jamal. How are you doing?
Pretty good, Kim. How are you?
Fine, thanks. Hey, what are you working on? Is that your homework?
No, actually, I'm working on a short story.
Really? I didn't know you were a writer.
Well, I'm not. Not exactly.
What do you mean?
This is a different kind of story. It's done through crowdsourcing.
Crowdsourcing? What's that?
It's a story that a large group of people work on at the same time. We're all writing it together.
I don't get it. Who is writing it? Do you know these people?
No, we don't know each other, but I can see their writing online.
Okay, so you don't know them, but you work together online. How does that work?
It's like this. Usually, when you write a story, you work alone, right?
Right?
Well, in this case, many people are working on the same story at the same time. Anyone can log on to their computer and contribute. Even you could do it.
Do you get paid to do it?
No, we do it for fun. And I'm really hooked on the story now. And each time I go online, I add 1 sentence to the story. Then someone else adds another sentence a few minutes later.
Oh, I see. So gradually you build the story together.
Exactly. And the story is completely unpredictable. That's what makes it interesting.
Cool. What's the story about anyway?
It's a crime story, but don't worry, it's not violent. It tells the story of 2 detectives working in Rome. At least that was the beginning of the story. Now they are in Madrid.
Is it a true story?
No, we make it up.
Well, it sure sounds fun.
It is, and I need some help. Are you creative? I'm trying to think of something good for the next line of the story.
Hi, Jamal. How are you doing?
Pretty good, Kim. How are you?
Fine, thanks. Hey, what are you working on? Is that your homework?
No, actually, I'm working on a short story.
Really? I didn't know you were a writer.
Well, I'm not. Not exactly.
What do you mean?
This is a different kind of story. It's done through crowdsourcing.
Crowdsourcing? What's that?
It's a story that a large group of people work on at the same time. We're all writing it together.
I don't get it. Who is writing it? Do you know these people?
No, we don't know each other, but I can see their writing online.
Okay, so you don't know them, but you work together online. How does that work?
It's like this. Usually, when you write a story, you work alone, right?
Right?
Well, in this case, many people are working on the same story at the same time. Anyone can log on to their computer and contribute. Even you could do it.
Do you get paid to do it?
No, we do it for fun. And I'm really hooked on the story now. And each time I go online, I add 1 sentence to the story. Then someone else adds another sentence a few minutes later.
Oh, I see. So gradually you build the story together.
Exactly. and the story is completely unpredictable. That's what makes it interesting.
Cool. What's the story about, anyway?
It's a crime story, but don't worry, it's not violent. It tells the story of two detectives working in Rome. At least that was the beginning of the story. Now they are in Madrid.
Is it a true story?
No, we make it up.
Well, it sure sounds fun.
It is, and I need some help. Are you creative? I'm trying to think of something good for the next line of the story.
Have you finished, guys? Yes? Not yet? Guys, have you finished? Yes. Yes. Okay. Yeah. Let's start with number 1. Let's go with Gina. Gina, what do you have in number 1, Gina? Jamal.
No, Jamal is working alone.
Not exactly. Let's listen. What do you have, Ricardo, for number 1?
With a lot of people.
Yes, no, because a lot of people are writing the story. So, okay. Now let's go with Adrian. Number 2, Adrian.
Jamal met the other reader online.
Yes, that's correct. Met. You have met, yeah? Let's go with Tiara. Tiara, number 3.
Each person suggests a sentence for the story.
Yes, suggest a sentence. No, that's correct. Let's go with Hiomara. Number 4, Hiomara.
The story is unpredictable.
The story is unpredictable. Okay. Giancarlo, number 5.
Jamal is working on a crime story.
Yes, that's Joel, number 6.
The story isn't realistic.
Not exactly. Let's ask Fiorella. Fiorella, what do you have for number 6?
The story isn't true.
Okay, please be careful when you have, and I will write here because we usually confuse this in pronunciation. Yeah, so here you have, pay attention here. History. Yeah, pay attention. When you have here history, so the stress, okay, the stress. What does stress mean?
Fuerza de voz.
Yes, no, the stress is here. History. But when you have here this word is story. The story, so you have you have story, yeah? The pronunciation is different. And the meaning too, no? Because history is the subject. My favorite subject is history, but here you have story, yeah? So you can say, Maria, I will tell you a story, no? Or for example, I tell stories to my children, no? Cinderella is her favorite story, no? So be careful with that, yeah? History, the subject, story, yeah, the stories, no? Cinderella, Caperucita, so the stories you have, okay? Oh, an experience also is a story, no? Let's go here. Here, yeah. No, yeah, the story isn't, yeah, you have another. The story isn't realistic, true, or well known.
True.
Yes, because he asked for that. Is that a true story? No, we made up the story. No, we invented the story. Yeah, so, and number 6, letter. Now, let's go to activity C. Activity C. Yeah, pay attention. Look at your notes in A. So here you have this, okay, these notes. And your answers in B. What is crowdsourcing story? What is crowdsourcing source story? Complete the summary below and compare your answers with your partner. So here it is not necessary to listen, but yes, you have to use this information that you have here. The question is, what is a crowdsourced story? For example, you have to create a crowdsourced story. 1. Work together. Work together. So, who work together? Who works together? Yeah, the information is here. Huh? Who works together? The people. Yeah, okay, yes, no? So you have here to create a crowdsourced story. People work together because in this part you have Jamal is working with a lot of people, no? So yeah, people you have here. Please continue, please. Number 2, number 3, number 4, and number 5. Okay, now let's compare, yeah? So who has the answer for number 2? Somebody there? That part is easy, huh? Somebody?
All right.
Yeah, yeah, online. You said the answer. Okay. So number 3, Fiorella, do you have for number 3, Fio? I don't know. Yeah, don't worry. Somebody has for number 3. Everyone contributes. Contributes what?
A sentence.
A sentence. Yes, a sentence. Number 4.
The people don't know.
The people. Yes, the people don't know each other. That's correct. And number 5. Somebody, number 5.
Receive any pain.
Yeah, similar to pay, so they don't receive any it's related with paid, but yeah, paid no. So you have they don't receive any money. Yeah, they don't receive any money. So crowdsource or to create a crowdsource story. So let's read, please. Anneli, can you read, please, all the paragraph, this small paragraph, to create a crowdsource? Teacher, therefore, I don't know. Number 4. Number 4 is no. No, 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 no. Yeah, read. To create a crowdsource story, people work together. They don't work in office. They work offline. Everyone contributes. Yes, contributes. Sentences. The people don't know each other and they don't receive any money
Money.
for their work.
Yes, for their works. Yes, that's correct. No. So, for example, at the beginning, so we didn't know the meaning of crowdsourcing. So, a crowdsourcing story. So you have here the idea. No. So a crowdsourcing story. So people, no, or people write one part of a sentence about the story, right? And they do for fun because they don't have any money, they don't receive any money, okay? But they don't know each other because they work online, no? They don't know each other, right? So this is a crowdsourced story, yeah? So let's see. Crowd, people, source. So you have like recurso, okay, so yeah, we use that to write the story, no? Okay, so now let's move here. Okay, let's go to pronunciation, and you have here compound nouns or compound words. In basic 11, yeah, so we learn compound nouns. For example, when you have grandfather, that is a compound noun because you have two words. Yeah, a compound noun is when you have two words and you join these two words and you have a word with a meaning. No, this is compound noun. Grandfather. For example, when you have airplane, airplane, air one word, plane another word. These two words, yeah, you have a meaning, no? Airplane, you have. For example, stepmother, stepmother. That. So here in your book, you have more compound nouns. Okay, so and here you have 3 compound nouns. And pay attention here. Maybe you don't know the meaning, but I will tell you. Yeah, here. Here. Yeah, pay attention here. Yeah, compound noun. You have when pronouncing compound nouns, the stress is in the first word or in the first syllable. In that part is the stress. For example, in your book you have heartbreaking, heartbreaking. Yeah, so the stress is in heart, no? Heartbreaking. Number 2, you have heartwarming, heartwarming, uplifting, uplifting, heartwarming, heartbreaking. So the stress is in the first syllable. When you have, for example, grandfather, you have grandfather. You don't have grandfather. No, you have grandfather. Stepmother. Cell phone. Cell phone. So in the first syllable, so you have the stress. And what does heartbreaking is making you feel extremely sad or disappointed. For example, you can say, it's a heartbreaking to see him wasting his life away. It's heartbreaking to see him wasting his life away. No, when you feel very sad, you are heartbreaking. Okay, then you have heartwarming is the opposite. For example, you have making you feel happy because you see other people being happy or kind to each other. You can say the movie tells a heartwarming story about a boy who saves his sister's life. Oh, so you have heartwarming. Yeah, the movie tells a story about a boy who saves his sister's life. So it makes you feel happy. No, it makes you feel happy because to see other people being happy or kind to each other. Uplifting, up. No, you have up, making you feel happier and more hopeful. This is an uplifting experience, you can say, no? Something that makes you feel happier and more hopeful. Yeah, so for example, in what situation we can feel that uplifting? I don't know. For example, when you go to, I don't know, a conference about life, for example, so you can say, wow, this is an uplifting experience. So yeah, after the conference, because the conference, I don't know, feel you make happy and more hopeful, about something, no? Okay, so, but here is pronunciation. The most important here is that when you have compound nouns, so the stress is in the first syllable. Let's listen here.
Compound words are formed by putting two words together to form a single word with a different meaning. Look at the three words. Each one is a compound word, a combination of heart and breaking in the first example, heart and warming in the second, and up and lifting in the third. Listen to each word and repeat. Which syllable is stressed in each one? 1. Heartbreaking. Heartbreaking. 2.
Heartwarming. Heartwarming.
3. Uplifting. Uplifting.
As you can see, so the stress is in the first syllable, no? Heartbreaking, heartwarming, uplifting. So you have. So let's say the words. Please, let's start with Gina. Please, can you say the first word?
Heartbreaking.
Yes, heartbreaking. You have. Ricardo, continue, please.
Heartwarming.
Adrian.
Uplifting.
Tiara, again.
Uplifting.
Heartbreaking. Giovanna, continue, please.
Heartwarming.
Giancarlo, continue.
Uplifting.
Uplifting. Okay. Joel, again, please.
Heartbreaking.
Yes, no? Heartbreaking. You have. Let's see. Here, Fiorella, continue, please.
Heartwarming.
Heartwarming. So let's see. Anneli, finish.
Uplifting.
Uplifting. Yes. So when you have a compound noun, so the stress syllable, okay, is the stress. Yeah. So now pay attention here. Let's go to activity B. Now, to start with activity, you have. Let's talk about stories. Yeah, let's talk about stories. For example, here you have Cinderella. Cinderella is a story. Snow White and the Seven, you have Dwarfs. This is another story. The Beauty and the Beast is another story. We have a lot of stories, no? One experience, for example, real experiences. Yeah, they are stories, no? So you can say, oh, Maria, you know, yesterday I was walking on the street and then, yeah, it's a story because it's an experience. Yeah, could be okay made up stories or could be real stories, no? So here today you are going to learn expressions, yeah, expressions to tell a story. Okay, this expression. For example, when you tell a story, you can say one day, so later, after that, as it turns out, so you have, we use this to keep a story going, to tell a story. Or you can say finally, so to finish the story. No? Today we are going to learn that. Yeah? So let's go here. Let's go to this conversation. Listen. Mia is telling Nico a story. Listen, then answer the questions about the story. Please, Anneli, can you read number 1? How many?
How many characters are in the story?
Yes, Fiorella, continue, please.
Where does it take place?
Joel, number 3.
What happened? What's the story easy to follow?
Yes, no? So you have, yeah. So was the story easy to follow? Was the story easy to understand? Number 4, Giancarlo.
Okay, this is an example of a feel-good story. What do you think that means?
Yes, story. Yeah, when you have a story. History, so you have, no? Okay, pay attention here. Now you will listen to this conversation and you have 4 questions about the characters, about the place, what is it about, is it easy to understand? And then you have a word of feel good story. What does it mean? Feel good story. Yeah, so what does it mean? So let's listen. Let's listen here.
Wow, I just heard an amazing story.
Yeah? What's it about?
It's a story about a waitress. She had a lot of money problems.
That sounds hard.
It is. Anyway, she found out she was losing her apartment. She had to move, but she didn't have enough money.
Oh no.
As it turns out, she told one of her customers about the situation. This customer was special. He came to the restaurant often and knew the waitress well, and he wanted to help her.
So, what did you do?
One day he paid his bill and left the restaurant, as usual. When the waitress went to collect her tip, she found a $3,000 tip on a bill of $43.50.
Are you serious?
I am. It's a true story. And in the end, the waitress was okay.
What a heartwarming story. I'm glad it had a happy ending.
I will give you, let's see, yeah, 3 minutes, yeah? 3 minutes, please. Please read this conversation and answer the questions. Let's start here with Gina. Gina, how many characters are there in the story?
Story have one character.
Can you repeat, please? I couldn't listen. The story.
The story has one character. It's
Yeah, the waitress is one, but it has another character because something happened there. The waitress and you have, for example, the customer, no? So the customer, for example, you have, as it turns out, she told one of her customers about the situation. This customer was special. Yeah, so it's the waitress and the customer, no? Okay, there are two people there. Ricardo, where does it take place?
In a restaurant.
Yeah, it takes place in a restaurant. Adrian, so what happened? What is the story?
The customer came to the restaurant after and knew the waitress well.
Mm-hmm.
And the customer wanted to help her.
Yeah, you are right, no? Because he gave money, no? He gave her someone. Okay, so let's see now. Ciara, you have the word feel good story. What is it about? When you have a feel good story, what does it mean? I can listen to you.
She had one.
Yeah, I can listen, okay, but I think you said that help. Help? Are you saying that word? Help?
No.
Yeah, don't worry. Okay, so we can listen to you clearly.
Hi, guys.
So
Do you ever think
maybe
it's
a volunteer, please. Feel good story. What does feel good story? You have feel good story. Feel
Teacher, I think if there are good people,
yeah, in the story you have good people. You mean that? But you have a story. You have the idea. Maybe you don't know how to say, no, but because when you have a feel good story, is a story that makes you feel good or makes you feel happy. That's why you have feel good story, no? For example, I don't know, when you see a movie, for example, or you read a book, and then you feel this book or the story, okay, makes you feel good, makes you feel happy. For example, here in this conversation, so you have a man, okay, so that the woman was yeah, she faced a bad situation, no, so a terrible situation. Okay, but one man, okay, so her customer helped her with the money, right? So, and when you listen to that story, wow, you say, no, you feel happy because you listen that kind of a story. Yeah, so that is feel good story. Yeah, so listen again, and then you will practice with a partner. Yeah, listen to the intonation and everything. Listen.
Wow, I just heard an amazing story.
Yeah? What's it about?
It's a story about a waitress. She had a lot of money problems.
That sounds hard.
It is. Anyway, she found out she was losing her apartment. She had to move, but she didn't have enough money.
Oh no.
As it turns out, she told one of her customers about the situation. This customer was special. He came to the restaurant often and knew the waitress well, and he wanted to help her.
So, what did you do?
One day he paid his bill and left the restaurant, as usual. When the waitress went to collect her tip, she found a $3,000 tip on a bill of $43.50.
Are you serious?
I am. It's a true story. And in the end, the waitress was okay.
What a heartwarming story. I'm glad it had a happy ending.
Okay, you will practice this conversation. Let's see, pronunciation. Maybe this anyway. You have enough money. What else? What else? What else? And he wanted to help her. Help her. No, help her. Waitress. Yeah, you have waitress. Heartwarming story. I think yeah, you won't have problems with the pronunciation. But let's listen to you. Now let's go with Anneli and Fiorella, please. Anneli, you are Mia. Fiorella is Nico.
Okay. Wow, I just heard an amazing story.
Yeah. What is about?
It's a story about a waitress. She had a lot of problems. No, she had a lot of money problems.
That sounds hard.
It is. Anyway, she found out she was losing her apartment. She had to move, but she didn't have enough money.
Oh no.
As it turned out, she told one of customer about the situation. His customer was special. He come to the restaurant often and knew the waitress well, and he wanted to help her.
So, what did he do?
One day he paid his bill and left the restaurant as unusual. When the waitress went to collect her tip, she found 3,000 tip on a billion 43.55.
Are you serious?
I am. It is a true story. In the end, the waitress was okay.
What a heartwarming story.
Start.
I'm glad it had a happy ending.
Yes. Okay. So just be careful with you have here waitress. Waitress, unusual. Okay. Now let's go with Joel and Giancarlos, please. Joel, Giancarlos.
Okay, teacher. ¿Quién empieza?
Yeah, you can start. Giancarlos, Joel, you are Nico.
Okay, teacher. Wow, I just heard an amazing story.
Yeah, what is about?
It's a story about a waitress. She had a lot of money problems.
That sounds hard.
It is. Anyway, she found out she was losing her apartment. She had to move, but she didn't have anywhere money.
Oh no.
As it turned out, she told one of her customers about the situation. This customer was special. He come to the restaurant often and knew the waitress well, and he waited to help her.
So, what did he do?
One day he paid his bill and left the restaurant as usual. When the waitress went to collect her tip, she found a $3,000 tip on a bill of 43.50.
Are you serious?
I am. It's a true story. And in the end, the waitress was okay.
Finish? What? Yeah, I will finish. Yeah, what a heartwarming story. I'm glad it had a happy ending. Listen, please. Be careful when you have here again. Yeah, story. You have a story. It's a true story. Sometimes we confuse with history. No, history. No, or history. No, it's story. Story. When you have, and also here in the end, you have in the end, you have and okay. Be careful with those words. Now let's go with story. What a heartwarming story. History, no. His history, no. So this is the subject, yeah? So let's forget this. So story, story. Then listen, you have a story, found, out, as usual, came, just, often, in the end, waitress, and money. Yeah, so you will repeat these words. So let's start with in this order: Gina, Ricardo, Adrian, Tiara, Xiomara, Giancarlos, Joel, Fiorella, Nelly. So in that order you will say it, yeah? So please, let's start with you, Gina. The first word. Story. Everybody's going to say that word, yeah? Please, everybody's going to say story, yeah? So, Ricardo, say the word.
Story.
Story. You have story, yeah? Adrian.
Story.
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 Tiara. Tiara, say the word, please.
Story.
Story. Xiomara. Can you say the word, Xiomara? Story. Or Giancarlo, please, can you say the word?
Story.
Story. Joel, say the word, please.
Story.
Fiorella, say the word, please.
Story.
Story, no? So you have. Anneli, say the word.
Story.
Ya. Ok, un poquito como que lo alargan el to, ok, hasta que nos acostumbremos, porque si no nos va a ganar el history, nos va a ganar siempre. Entonces, alárguenle como que un poquito más esto, ¿no? Story. Story. ¿Ya? Story. Cinderella is a story. María, I will tell you a story. Okay, so you have a story, Si no, si es que no, un poquito no alargamos esa O, nos va a seguir ganando el history. Nos va a seguir ganando eso, ¿ya? So here is story. Okay, yeah. Let's practice all the words now. So only one word. Say one word, and you then your partner is going to continue. Okay, so let's start. Anneli, the first word.
Story.
Fiorella, continue, please.
Story.
No, the next one.
Found.
Found. Joel.
Found.
No, the next.
Out.
Out. Giancarlos, continue, please.
As usual.
As usual. Xiomara. Xiomara came. Came. Ciara. Just. Adrian.
Often.
Often. Ricardo.
Indian.
Indian. Indian. Gina. Waitress. Okay. And Anneli, finish, please, Anneli.
Money.
Money. That's correct. Yeah. So be careful with that. Because next month you will be in intermediate 12. No, basic 12, then intermediate 1. So we have to correct this, no? Because sometimes we say money, or sometimes we say in the end. No, it's in the end. Yeah. Or for example, here we say come, but it's came. No, came. You have. Yeah. So be careful with those words. Now let's go to your book. In your book, you have this. Okay. Here you have keeping a story going. Keeping a story going. So, for example, you have one day, so later, after that, as it turns out that. So you have this expression we use to keep a story going. You know, not one day, so later, after that. But when you have as it turns out, or it turns out that, this is as a result, or you can say, y resulta que, no, as it turns out, or it turns out, so you can say, as a result, no, as a result. Yeah, so I have here more expressions. For example, you can say, no, introducing the story, continuing the story, and ending the story. You can say, it's a story about, the story begins in, or the story starts in, one day, so you start the story. Continuing the story, you can say, so later, after that, it turns out that, as it turns out, and when you finish, you can say, in the end, finally, so you have these expressions to tell a story. Yeah? For example, in this conversation, what expressions did the people use? What expressions? Do you have one day? No? Or yes?
Yes, miss.
Okay, for example, here you have as it turns out, you have here this, no? Then what else? One day, so you have here. Then you have here, and you have another.
It is a story about.
Yeah, in what part is that? Yes, no? It's a story about, so you have here, for example, no? So you have here Juan, then here, and do you have in the end or no? No, or yes?
Yes.
In what part is in the end? Yes, here, for example, no? And in the end, so you have this. So here you have, it's a story about one expression. Then you have, as it turns out, another expression. Then you have one day, you have another expression. And here you have in the end, so you have 4 expressions, no? So as you can see, so we use these stories to tell, no? We use these expressions to tell a story, yeah? So now, pay attention here. Here you have activity D. Activity D you have. On a piece of paper, write a word or single sentence for each item below. Then exchange the papers with a partner. Use your partner's note and the useful expressions to write it. Yeah, but here, yeah, we are not going to exchange the papers because we are in a class. But now you are going to write your own story. Yeah, for example, here you have, let's see, let's copy this here. You have here. For example, you have, in a piece of paper, write a word or a single sentence. A person's name, Adriana. Another person's name, yeah, you have Pierre. A place, Ipna. How the two people met, yeah? How the two people met. They study in the same course, for example. What happened to the people? What happened to the two people? Yeah, you can say they fell in love and became a couple, for example. No? So they love each other, right? So similar to this, you will write in a piece of paper. Yeah, I will give you 2 minutes here, please. In a piece of paper, please write similar to this, a person's name, another person's name, a place, how the two people met, what happened to the two people. So the place you can say on the street, for example, at IFNA, Continental University, in the park. Here, how do the two people met? You can say one, for example, a friend introduced Maria, for example, or you can say, I don't know, no? So you will invent similar to this, yeah? So please, 2 minutes. 2 minutes, write the names, the place, how do they meet, and what happened to this.